No, I'm just playing with y'all, bro. I'm here to talk to y'all about Krypton, Season 1, Episode 1. It was very interesting. First episode. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm not a Superman fan. I like Superman. I'm just not. He's not my favorite. And if you get what I mean by that is, I'm a Batman fan. In fact, you know what I'm saying, I like Batman more or less because he's more realistic. You can actually train to be a great fighter or a great detective. You know, those things are real. You can become those. But one thing I do love about Superman is that he's an alien that loves us and our humanity so much that he chooses to protect us over any other form of life in the universe. And that's something that I always really wanted to know about Superman, the origins of his home and how it works. You know what I'm saying? I know they go by houses. You know, you get little tidbits over the years if you're really interested in the superhero thing. You know, you get tidbits, especially Man of Steel gave you a large one where they actually you got to see the home world for the first time in a long time. But Krypton is about Superman's grandfather, and his strive to rebuild and uphold his house name, you know, after it was destroyed because of people going against his grandfather. So Superman's grandfather's grandfather. Yeah, so we start off this episode with Superman's grandfather. I can't get all the L's down right now, so bear with me. It's only episode 2. I'm gonna learn the names. I got you. We start off with his grandpa, basically in a trial. You know what I'm saying, for his life, talking about that there's other things out there. The trial was basically you're not allowed to explore the universe, I guess. And if you do, you're not allowed to find anything, I guess. But basically, his grandfather made a supercomputer, found out what Brainiac is doing, what he's capable of, and tried to warn his people. But since he tried to warn his people, they killed him. They literally murdered him for trying to save them. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all feeling a little like, what the fuck? Y'all don't care about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a sense of that Krypton was so advanced that they were naive to certain things in a way. So they lost their rank, their house, their everything. So they basically became me. You know, they became middle class or low class citizens. You know, they've been out here. Their dad. This is the part. The dad. Seth's dad has to work with the man that killed his father. Like, he literally has to work for him as his maid, like getting him tea and water and shit. I'd have been and killed that man. I'm sorry. I'd have stabbed the nigga in his neck. He'd have been gone. But it's a very good dynamic. It's all about houses, and I love how Seth is always trying to find a new. It's just like how it is in the real hood. He's the product of his environment. He's up here fighting guards and placing bets for extra cash. You know, you gotta have to do what you have to do to feed your family. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy the relationship dynamics, because I know Superman's father name is Jor-El and his mother name is Laura. So I love the dynamics of the houses. Like, I'm still trying to figure out where Laura is. Is Laura a living thing? I guess she wouldn't be yet because, you know, his son isn't born. But I'm trying to figure out, because they were talking in this show about Superman's grandfather's dad. Well, Superman's dad. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about him being binded to this woman from this other house. I forgot the name of the house. I hate the house. It's basically the house that killed his. And they're telling them that how long. It basically tells you what your kid's gonna do his whole life, how long they're gonna live, and you know what I'm saying. But they said his name will be Corvex, and I'm sitting here like, Corvex, isn't that an enemy? That doesn't sound too. It didn't sound too, you know what I'm saying, part of the Superman family storyline. You know what I'm saying. Even Mon-El is Mon-El, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm like, Corvex doesn't sound like an L name. I don't see how this is gonna work. The dynamics are different. The House of Zod. I am really intrigued with the House of Zod, not just because they're black. I'm intrigued because they're literally a war house. Like, everybody, if you're born into this house, you have to become a warrior. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's one thing I like. I really want to get to know more about her son, because I'm pretty sure her son is the one who becomes General Zod. Well, no, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, the General Zod we all love and know today has not been born. Okay, he has not been born yet. He is, okay, that General Zod is as old as Superman's dad. Okay, I was reliving it, you know what I'm saying? I gotta remember we still on the life of his grandfather. And it's a very itchy gotchy goose show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really unpredictable. Like, you know, you find out that this symbol of hope was really a symbol of hope before it came to Earth. They find this cave where his father, basically the beginning of Fortress of Solitudes. We go in there and it's like this big thing, this big science lab, and it's better than, I mean, I really want. It's a place. This is a type of place that I would want to see some of the characters from other DC universes cross over, just to see the dynamics, you know what I'm saying? Like, have Adam Strange go further in time and come get Cisco and Felicity and bring them to that science lab and see how they freak out, and then see how they advance their things way above normal technology because they went to the future to get. See, I need to stop talking about this. I'm already about to become a show writer, but I really do. I like the what else happened? Oh yeah, they found that place. Adam Strange popped up, which I really love how his origin story is popping up in here. So if his origin story is popping up, that means we probably gonna get some Hawk Girl, Hawkman type things. You know what I'm saying? Some. I love the look of Brainiac. That shit freaked me out, bruh. That was the freakiest, dopest Brainiac I've ever seen, and I want more of it. I like how he keep the little planets in a snow globe, you know, which is what he does. He's the collector of worlds, and it's just so dope because they look like little. It's like having a snow globe. They look like little peaceful things, but just imagine, it's a whole freaking race in here. It's a whole city in here. You know what I'm saying? From a planet that I destroyed, and that's one thing that I feel like the dynamic is for Krypton, is that they're so advanced and so ahead of their time that they're naive to one another. Like, you don't want to trust a man because you don't want it to affect your way of life. You don't want to believe a man because it might affect your way of life. But whether you believe him or not, it's going to affect your way of life. And I like the dynamics. I just like the dynamics of the show, man. The houses, this to me is I'm gonna like it because it's more of a more physical drama show. You know, I love action and drama and whatnot, but I like how it all is woven in together. A many-faced god. I'm gonna have to do some research on the gods. If you can help me out, you can leave the comments below. Let me know where to check out. But yeah, it's a really dynamic show. Episode 2 was very crazy. Saw that last night. You know, Seth's parents died right in front of him. The woman that he is supposed to be bound to, the woman that she basically made it seem in episode 1 that she chose to be with him, which she didn't. They chose him because he's an L, and they want to make the L bend to their will, or at least find out what his grandfather was working on. If you care so much about what his grandfather was working on, then you should have believed his grandfather in the first place. So that's just the beginning of what I'm saying. So he joins the Science Guild, and what else? What was up? Oh yeah, he asked the man. He was going to go kill the man who killed his parents, but he asked him for their ashes, but he said he couldn't give them to him. He was going to stab him in the neck, but then he decided to join the Science Guild. And when he joined the Science Guild, he came back with this high-tech computer and told Adam Strange and his best friend, if y'all can't find nothing up there on this laptop, then I'm going back up there and I'm going to kill the man that killed my parents. He killed my mom. He was on this Tony Stark. He killed my mom. I don't care. So when he went back up there, he found the woman that he was bound to, and she gave him his parents' ashes with their symbol on it, you know. And so I'm thinking like, dang, she might be one of these good people trapped up in a world of politics, you know what I'm saying? Because good people can get caught up in it. You can be a good person, but have to play the political game because that's the life you were born into, which I'm thinking that she was doing, when actually she's just playing Seth just like her father is. They just want Seth on their team to follow their orders, do what they say. They just want the end of the House of L. And back to the Fortress of Solitude. What I love is this is the beginning of the holograms. Basically, no, the Fortress of Solitude is like a generational thing to the House of L, and like I really like how his grandfather had the consciousness thing going on too. And he basically told him, like, you're going to have to do something about this house because we are House of L, and I refuse to let our legacy be joined with a Vex. Basically, the man that killed us. So he went to go see him. He was like, I'll do everything you're asking. I will bond with your daughter. I will join the Science Guild, but I will not wear your house's symbol. I will wear nothing. I will be nothing before I wear this symbol. And the many-faced God is hearing this whole conversation and comes up and be like this. And he comes up and is like, that is acceptable. And then he was like, what? The House Vex, leader of House Vex got mad and was like, what? Why would you do that? And he was like, if you want to control him, then... Well, if you want to control him, this is how you control him, by letting him think he has control. Which is smart and dumb at the same time. We all know the House of L. The House of L don't bend for no one. Sorry, not even Batman. House of L don't bend for no one. I like how. Okay, it's like the story is already started. Like, we already in deep shit already. I mean, excuse my language. We already in deep stuff already. If you get what I'm saying, like. Brainiac's not coming. He's already here. He's probably absorbing the uninhabited part of the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's starting. But he's sending out scouts to know where you guys are. That's where he's coming to. I want to know, is the whole planet dead? Is that city the only city? Because the way they make it look and seem, Kendor is the only city on the whole planet, which isn't true, you know. It's the only city that survives, you know what I'm saying, the annihilation, because it does get shrunken down. It does get taken by Brainiac or whatnot. But I feel like on a whole entire planet, it should have more than one city. And if it does have one city, how is this city not overpopulated yet? Just saying, you know. I love the dynamics, the relationship dynamics too, where it's like everything it's like you know, arranged marriages back in the day, but with this one you actually get to see the dynamics of people actually loving other people. You know what I'm saying? Like Seth and Lyta, like they love each other. They really want to be with each other, even though they tell each other constantly, we gonna have to end this. This can't last. You know what I'm saying? You have to. They try to remind themselves that at some point this is gonna end. But, you know, when you care about somebody, it just doesn't. And, you know, for Seth, I feel bad because the woman he loves, mother, killed his parents. But I don't think she's evil. I think she did it on purpose because the way she looked at them and the way they looked at her was like, kill me to spare my son, to spare our future. Or basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like she killed them to save Seth because she knew that he was the future. Which I'm hoping is the truth. I'm really hoping that House Zod really was like friends with House L at some point, and the only reason they fell out was the destruction of Krypton, which is understandable. Anybody will fall out at the end of the, you know what I'm saying, the planet's about to blow up. I want to live. I don't want to die. That's a understandable fallout, but I want to know I want to really dive into, because Game of Thrones is about to end. We have one season left. I'm really into the dynamics of houses, so I really want to know the houses, how deep they go, the legacies. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's more than 4 houses, but we only know 4 right now. This is Aqua Dread talking to you about Krypton season 1, episode 1 and 2. Very great show. We gonna keep going, keep it rolling, keep it going, and we just hope that we can save Krypton before Superman die. Aqua Dread's about it.